Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Experience traditional Brazilian cuisine, served with the hospitality that Texas is famous for. Here at Texas de Brazil, you simply turn your card to green, and expert carvers serve you fine cuts of beef, lamb, pork, chicken, and Brazilian sausage. Turn your card to red when you want a break. Then repeat. Make reservations now at texasdebrazil.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome, race fans, to the ISCA's 2025 Super Cup Series Texas de Brazil 250. Here, live from virtual Texas Motor Speedway. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth by Big Al, and down in the truck, pushing all the buttons, making it happen, it's Kobe Jordan. We've got 250 sweet laps of Texas coming right up for you, with 19 of the best drivers the ISCA can put on the field for us today. Big Al, how you doing? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Glad to be back in the Lone Star State where, you know, they say everything's big and bright back here in Texas, man. What about yourself, Joe? How you feeling about this Texas de Brazil 250 we got rolling here tonight?
I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys can tackle the long drive that they've got ahead of them. They've got a couple of stages that we're going to break things down into, but still, it's going to be a game of that long strategy and seeing how these guys can hold up in their terms of that long-term strategy over the course of these laps with, you know, about 58 laps in the tank, 100% fuel range. They've got to be thinking to themselves, we got a couple of different times we're going to be taking a break here. Let's take a look at the conditions and see how things are breaking down here at the track right now. 1.46 miles around this Fort Worth track. We're going to stop at 35, 60, 167, and then we're going to go on straight home from there. 5 sets of tires. 50 sets would be insane. 58 laps roughly fuel range. Air temp is 73 in the air, 102 on the track right now with wind out of the southeast at a gusty 18 miles an hour. Not bad. So we'll see if any of that comes into play. How often do you see the wind speed really coming into play, Big Al, on tracks like this?
Well, yeah, it definitely can be tricky, just depending on what part of the track it is and how that wind is blowing. Drivers are going to find themselves, you know, they can greatly find themselves affected by the wind, especially once it gets up into the teens of degrees. So, it definitely does affect the car as far as the cross draft and vice versa.
Okay. Well, let's see if it affects him tonight with it almost 20 miles an hour worth of wind. That could very well be the case.
Yeah, you'll feel 20.
Okay, yeah, I fully believe it. I would feel 20 if we were standing outside. I can't imagine these cars definitely would feel it. Feels like driving into a new wall, you know? Let's break down the keys to the race. You know what? I'll bring them down this week, actually. Texas is an interesting track. Let's find the balance here. This track looks a little devious for a guy like me. I thought, hey, it's very similar. No, there's two different corners here. You've got to find the balance between those two corners and work out what differences you need in terms of technique between them. And if you don't, well, you're going to be treating them the same, and that's going to be points against you versus everybody else who knows that there is a balance between these two corners. Next up, save those tires. Try to find somewhere to maybe tuck in, but don't be scrubbing all the way up and down the track. Try to find a place somewhere in the middle maybe and save the tires. You're going to need them. Now, they got 5 sets on them, but they got 250 laps with 3 breaks. So let's assume that that's at least going to be those 3 sets used up during those 3 breaks. That's only 2 sets just waiting for you for any yellows or any other chances for you to take new tires. So keep that in your back pocket and save the tires as much as you possibly can. And finally, execute pit stops. You need to be able to hit those pit stops fast, but without getting black flagged. And this is going to be the kind of course where we're going to have a lot of pit stops. So you need to be able to execute. You need to be able to hit them the way you want to hit them. And if iRacing catches you lacking, you're going to end up in a bad place for a long time. So that's your keys for tonight's race from Texas. Let's see if any of these drivers take any of that advice, as we see a couple different names now taking to the field. Who we got right now out in this practice stage here? Eyes on Sean Signore.
Oh, Sean Signore.
Now, that's the name we're going to have to make sure that we get right. Is it Signore or Signor? We'll have to ask him. We'll see if we can get him up here.
I thought we did just ask him.
Did we ask him at some point? Well,
I thought he told me I was right. I thought you said you was wrong and I was right.
That's fair. I want to make sure I get it right. Signore. All right. Easy to remember.
I don't, that might not, we might not have had that conversation about his name, but I do know he said that I was right and you were wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just roll with that then. Here comes qualifying right
Joe.
Now.
We're rolling right on into qualifying here. It looks like we're riding along with the 19 car J Hone or J Hone. But everybody's names are just awesome weird here. But hey, look here, we got the series point standings up on the board, Joe.
I see them right there. Patrick Gitter up at the top. Matt DiCiani in second. Derek Heitman in third. Brandon Pasalacqua in fourth. Paul Hill in fifth. Tim Wortman in sixth. Clayton Hoffman in seventh. Josh Schaffner in eighth. Vincent Crowe in ninth. And Joey Preby in 10th for your championship standings right now in the ISCA. We're about almost halfway through, I think, the season right now.
It's all
about
lies.
The halfway point. It's all lies.
That's all lies. Yeah, if you put that back up there, let's go through this here. Let's look at this thing objectively. Can we see those again, Kobe? All right, so Patrick Gitter. I haven't seen Gitter in a while. DiCiani, well, hadn't seen him. Heitman's not on the board. Pasalacqua's he's not present. Paul Hill, don't see him on the board. Clayton Hoffman, Tim Wortman Jr. is here. Clayton Hoffman is a no-show. Then you got Josh Schaffner, Vincent Crowe's present, Joe Preby. So what I'm thinking is, out of the top 10 that we got there, probably 6 of these guys are busted no-shows. And I mean that. What I mean when I say that, they're no-shows. So with that, there's a lot of other guys that are lower than 10 that you're going to start to see their names show up on this board here. And like you said, we're halfway through this thing. So it's going to prove to be beneficial to a lot of drivers. They're going to get their chance to be up on the leaderboard. We'll be calling their names out. Some guys that might not see themselves in the top 5 are definitely going to be our candidates and vice versa, because that's what we got to deal with, right?
Oh, no, yes, sir. Yeah, you're exactly right. Once we get some of the names that have been there for a while and maybe have a few other things coming up in their lives, whatever's going on, once they shuffle around a little bit, we do start to see some other names pop up. And we're starting to see those names pop up here. The Sean Signori, we haven't seen his name until recently. I don't think he was one of the guys here at the beginning of the season. We've had a few other names that have popped up during the season, but even then, we've had names that have been here since the beginning who are now going to get a chance to cycle their way up toward the top of the list, very potentially unseating some of the guys who have been sitting in that championship standing for a while now, for a couple of weeks. So,
And kudos to those guys because
we'll see.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
but go ahead.
No, I was just finishing that thought. We'll see.
Yeah, and if you look at the qualifying board right now, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. There's no shortage of guys stepping up. Vincent Crowe right now with the fastest time on the board, followed closely by Bacon Zelenka. You got Mark Sanchez actually putting his name up there for the first time on the podium to start tonight. David Few Jr. also getting a solid run in. So just by looking at the top 10 qualifiers, man, you got Greg Wachinski stepping up, Carl Van Schwook stepping up. It is Squik.
Skoik. Van
Skoik.
Skoik.
Skoik. That's it, Van Skoik. I got it now.
There you go.
Yeah, so I just think it's going to be very promising and very, very rewarding to the leaders, to the viewers, because now you're going to get to see some guys that you're not always getting to see up front actually shine. So that's good on their families. That's great on their sponsors, man. Seize the opportunity, right?
So, yeah, you gotta. It's right there in front of you.
All right, with that,
And-
we're going to go ahead and step. The qualifying is wrapping itself up, Joe. I think we should go ahead and step away, get a word from our sponsors as well as the national anthem, and we'll be right back with the start of tonight's race.
Oh, say, can't you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Race fans, it is time for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
Welcome back, folks, to the ISCA Live Super Cup Series. It's Thursday night. We've got 250 big ones from Texas Motor Speedway, and it's about to kick off. Right now, you can see the grid. It has formed up. We're going to be breaking down for you who is going to be going around and doing these laps. Let's do that right now. First things first, your pole position goes to Vincent Crowe with Kenny Powell on the outside. Third, Bacon Zelenka. Fourth, Mark Sanchez. Fifth, Dave Fuge Jr. Sixth, Sean Signori. 7th, Ryan Strunk. 8th, Charles Van Scoik. 9th, Nick King. And 10th, Greg Wyszynski.
That's going to put J.C. Evans coming in 11th with Tim Wortman Jr. beside him in 12th. 13th place shows for Richard Kleinman. He's got Jay Hone beside him. And then 15th, Jeremy Clapper Newell with Paul Olson beside him in 16th. 17th place shows Derek Jacobs. And he's got none other than the gerbil, David Gervais, beside him. And rounding out your top 19 is Paul Ferdiani.
Good list of 19 gladiators right there. We're going to be getting ready and going around here. Let's pick our race winners for tonight. Right here, Jolo, I'm going to go ahead and say Charles Van Scoik. I think that he's got it in him. He has been moving up the field consistently week after week, and I think that in the right moment, we're just going to see him break through.
Yeah, that's going to put me with Mr. Signore. Sean Signore, that's who I picked to take this thing all the way through to the end. Not with us tonight is the professor, Sheldon Atkins, so we'll just throw his vote to the win, and down under Kobe, the producer, has.
Tonight, boys, I'm going to be going with Vincent Crowe. He's got a good place on the grid, and if he can stay out the front, I think it's his to take home. So Vincent Crowe for me.
And there it is,
good,
ladies and
Vincent
gentlemen.
Crowe.
Good choices.
See it. Hey, he's right there. He's a pole position. If he can hold on to that for 250 laps, it'll be it'll be one hell of a drive. But anything's possible here, folks. We've got pit stops to make, though. So Vincent Crowe is going to need to have strategy on his side if he's going to come out and pull this one off from the beginning to the end. So we'll see right now as the race looks like it's getting ready to get kicked off. Cars are starting to appear on the grid. Just missing a few spots here.
Gritting on the way right now. Drivers do have an extra, I do believe. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's minutes to actually grid up. So this is their last chance to run to the bathroom, kiss the kids, smack the wife, let the mother-in-law out the potty. Whatever it is you got going on in your town.
That sounds like a very busy and complicated town. I'll just leave it at that. But here the racers are now. Any minute now, that pace car is going to be headed off, and we'll be getting things kicked off here.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw is right. Here we are outside of, I think it's Fort Worth. Is that where this racetrack is located?
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
sure it's just
Yes,
outside
sir.
of
Fort Worth,
yeah.
USA. 1.46 mile oval.
There we go. Yep, it says it right there. Looking good. Great conditions for a race today, too.
Yeah, definitely. That wind, though, that's a doozy at 19 miles an hour, and it's holding constant. It was right at 20 before we started the race, fluctuating down low I've seen of maybe 18, 17. So we're definitely going to see how that affects the thing. Because like you said in the keys of the race, this race does have 4 turns, but there are definitely different corners, man. And some of them you can take wide open. Some of them you're going to have to think about. And that's even going to change as the laps roll through. So let's wait on the last couple cars to grid up here.
I think it's 3 and 4. I think it's 3 and 4 that is the lower gradient, that has the lower banking than 1 and 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat and Al, but I think it's 3 and 4 that has the lower banking. So you can come blasting out of 4 and really not know the car, how far that car is going to move up the field, and it'll catch you off guard really fast. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely think 1 and 2 are definitely higher banked than 3 and 4. I would definitely give you that. Joe, are you excited about tonight's race?
I'm very excited for this race.
What about you folks at home?
I've been loving these races so far. I've seen a few at Texas so far. Yeah, folks at home, please let us know. Hop into the chat, say hello. Love to hear from you here. I wonder if these guys have been at Texas now for a couple of days. I'm sure that they've gotten the feel of the racetrack underneath the tires, the way the car responds here.
Oh yeah, man. Heck yeah. Texas is one of a lot of guys' favorite racetracks because this is a racer's track. So as we're doubled up now, lights off on the pace car, you're absolutely right. Guys have had plenty of time to get laps around the racetrack. You either love it or you hate it, but I do believe most people love Texas because it is one of the better tracks on the league. Pace car's getting ready to get up out of the way. Vincent Crowe is going to be bringing us on down here to the line. And that line is going to get mighty wide here as this race goes on. But here we go, first time through. Got called restart zone. And we are off and away. Crow waiting to the very last minute there, trying to catch the field slipping. And indeed he did. Looks like, though, the one car beside him, the 24 car Kenny Powell, he was not caught off guard as he right there on that quarter panel of Vincent Crowe. Now, Powell's going to come down, going to find himself a solidified spot there in P2, but further back behind, look at that, Joe. They're still 2x2 fighting to get in line.
Just barely. Dave Fuge moves just a little bit ahead of Ryan Strunk there. They are fighting still a little bit more 2x2 action. That is 29 of Mark Sanchez out on the outside of Sean Signore. They are 2x2. Coming around now, back into 1 and 2. We're on lap 2, folks, of 250, so settle in. Or of 167 laps here, so settle in and get ready. It looks like the race is only set for 167 laps. I wonder if that was intentional. So it's 250 miles potentially here. Lets me get my numbers right. And I'll get right back to you. Right. Pretty sure it's 167 laps, 250 miles. So pardon me for getting those numbers a little bit off there. We've got some still side-by-side action. But most of the other cars have kind of straightened things out a little bit out. Looks like there's not as much going on here, except for a little ways back. Derek Jacobs and Richard Kleinman are side-by-side here. Derek Jacobs now cycling back a little bit as Kleinman moves to the front. But everybody else has kind of sort of sorted things out in terms of the side-by-side racing.
Yeah, indeed. You got to find that rhythm, and that's what these guys are doing. Looks like some of them are going to find it sooner than others because this is that racetrack where you got to find that balance, I do believe you said, because when you find that balance and you're rolling around there, and it is like a teeter, you're going to get way close to the wall. You're going to come down into the groove. You're going to, and the car's just going to hook up. It's going to go around. Same thing coming around 3 and 4. You just maybe a little bit on the brakes kind of to keep it balanced. But, yeah, this thing, it's like a teeter once it gets going. You just got to ride that ring around the outside, and it's awesome fun.
Yeah, awesome fun is one word for it. Terrifying is the word I would use. I find that sometimes when you get in these kind of situations where you've got a track that's a little bit tricky and you find that groove, well, you've got guys that have found it, guys that haven't. And if you got guys that haven't, very quickly something that could be fun and sort of, like you said, sort of groovy driving can become really nerve-wracking. As right now we've got eyes on one of the only 2x2 situations we do have going on in the field right now. Pretty sure that's J.C. Evans we're looking at from the perspective of, no, who's that?
But now this should be J.C. Evans.
Okay. I think that's Greg Luczynski. There we go. As we see here, some more side-by-side racing. J.C. Evans on the inside, Honey on the outside.
Yeah, just to be Jay Hone on the outside, as viewed from Greg Luczynski's lens. And, here's the one thing, too. With the size of this field, yeah, it's going to be green for a while. And that's another thing these guys might not be used to. And that's going to make me wonder what happens once the tires do start to wear out, because that's something that's indicative of this track. And once you wear out those Goodyears, it's a different scenario. So with them being able to run full bore like this, at least for the first 35 laps, I think that's going to make it interesting for this. I don't see a whole lot of cautions coming into the play tonight.
I don't think so either. I think that, like you said, there's going to be a lot of green flag racing. This is the kind of thing where if you're going to wreck, you're going to wreck yourself. And I think that that's what we're going to be likely to see in some cases. Maybe some gradual damage from slamming into the wall, coming fast out of 1 and 2 like they do. Or maybe some situation where somebody overdrives it and just spins down to the inside, where there is a lot of room on the inside, actually, to spin the car and to go off. I've seen races here where cars have gone completely down to the apron and just lost control, not even a little bit into the wall, even in some cases. But as long as you just stay off the racing line, there's a lot of room in here to make that kind of huge mistake, and the race is going to continue without you. So I'm very intrigued to see that kind of thing happen here, and just watch someone go through the grass, maybe through the tri-oval or down to the apron, and see just how green this race stays.
Yeah, you're right, because for whatever reason, you guys can't seem to stay off the grass.
The grass is very enticing, Big Al. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's one of those things that you see it and you just want to drive right through it. It's like when you open a jar of peanut butter and you get that perfect surface on the peanut butter. You want to you just want to be the first person to mess that up.
Really? You're that guy,
Yeah.
Joe?
I'm that guy.
You know, I was going to
I'll
say that,
admit it.
Joe. You know, I usually always refer to that guy, and that guy is not down there tonight, but there is a guy down there tonight. So we'll be watching out for a guy down there tonight because he could be causing a lot of problems. 12-22 getting a little cozy there. Come across start-finish line, everything's okay. 22 car kind of washed up high, looking for a new line. 7 car is going to go down low. That 7 car being handled by none other than Sean Signore. But look at the 83 now. Tim Wortman Jr., he's going to come up, snuggle up to the 77 of Ryan Strunk. Kind of give him those little love nudges, if you will, trying to keep him straight. Strunk also is going to go a little high. And I don't know if maybe seeing cars, maybe seeing Kais, that's guys in cars, I guess, Kais go up high like that. Is that indicative of a poor handling situation?
It's kind of hard for me to say. Is right now Vincent Crow, though. Let's bring attention back up to the front. Crow is making a move now to take back the lead. Good dive down to the inside. Kenny Powell had taken the lead about a minute ago, but Vincent Crow said, nah, I want that right back. Took that right back from Kenny Powell. 24 cycling back a little bit, keeping Nick King out of the picture, but Vincent Crow with an excellent dive, a good buildup of momentum, takes back the lead from Kenny Powell. A little bit of a move in the back. You see that? Someone just popped out there. I think that was Nick King. No, that wasn't Nick King. That was Sean Signore.
Yes, Signore definitely having a pretty good run here tonight. We'll be following him because I do believe I picked this guy to win this thing overall.
You did, sir. You did indeed. And behind him, it's Wortman Jr. and Nick King side by side. A little bit of that side-by-side racing we mentioned earlier, but here comes Signore. He's down to the inside, passing Kenny Powell. Nice and easy. Powell cycles back. The gap now, a half second between Signore and Vincent Crow, who's out ahead. Doesn't seem like much. Well, it's not. Signore is closing that gap as we speak.
Yeah, here comes that 00.
That 00, that's Van Schook. That's Van Scoik.
Scoik.
Yep, Van Scoik is here and looking good, driving up 2 positions from where he started right now. He's got to catch Nick King, though. And once he does, make the pass.
Yeah, and this is probably the humbling lap because you're just at 17 laps through the stage. The driver's been able to do pretty much what they wanted to do. So see Tim Wortman Jr. trying to make and finagle his way around the 24. That's going to be a battle for second place. But now that Piper, he's back. He's got his hands out now, and you got to pay him for what you dance to. And this is where guys are going to. This is that exchange that we talked about. You know, you can be as fast as you want to up front, but now it's going to be a key balancing act to keep that thing pointed in the right direction as we go through the second stage, the second phase of the stage. If we could please, let's once we get done with this view, let's try to ride with one of these drivers on board. I want to see if these guys are shifting or not.
Well, here we go. Tim Wortman. Let's find out what's going on.
Here's they're not shifting, so he's running this thing all the way up. Oh, there he is, shifting the 5th.
Van Scoik managed to make the pass just a minute ago on Nick King, by the way. We'll catch up with that battle in a little bit, but good for him on making that pass.
And see, that
As
definitely
you said-
shows you something else. The fact that these guys are actually downshifting, that's bringing those RPMs up a lot more going into those turns. You know, that causes the shake a little shake on the outside there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that when you do drop down that extra, when you drop down that gear and you get all those RPMs dumped into the wheels, that's when you get that extra shake. And some drivers know how to handle it, some just don't. I'm one of the ones that doesn't, so I'm still learning how. Ooh.
Yeah. Just wondering if these guys were indeed shifting, and you did see it. You rode on board and did see one driver shifting. Now, that doesn't mean everybody shifting, but that gives you an indication of how the track is handling, how the guys are running, if you will. Side-by-side racing continuing between the 12 of Nate King and the 22 of Dave Hughes Jr. These two guys have been dialed in next to each other, but you see right behind them, just into the frame, you got the 83 going head-to-head with the 5 of Greg Wachinski. All of these battles are battles in the top 10. These are going to be for stage points. So now, with 14 laps left to go in the stage, you want to be making your way towards the front. You know, small field, big payoff here tonight.
That's right. It's a good way to look at it. Small field, big payoff. This is a big chance game for a lot of these guys. A chance to earn some points, chance to look really good. There goes the number 9 of J.C. Evans. Also, right in front of Evans is Bacon Zelenka, who had an end-of-line penalty, unfortunately, at the beginning of the race. Possibly a penalty-related thing from last week. So that ended up putting him back several places. Now he's down 7 positions from where he was originally gridded on this racetrack. So
You know, but the good thing,
pretty hard.
yeah, the good thing for him is he'll be able to make up most of that here tonight, because with the smaller field band and a track like Texas, it does give you the ability to kind of sow your own oats, if you will. It's a 9 car. You see him putting another driver, but he was just going up against the 77 of Ryan Strunk. The 19 and the 9, they're side by side again. Sorry, that 45 behind him was Bacon Zelenka.
It's all right. Yeah, I was wondering if they can make it work. I guess so. As it looks like Zelenka unable to quite perfect that pass right now. Ooh, was that a bounce off the wall potentially there? For the 19, and it looked like it might have been Jay Hone. And around,
Man, just
back through 3 and 4. Oh, sorry.
Just enjoying this battle here. These guys literally running side by side. You know, we got it up front, we got it in the back. It just shows these cars are tuned in. These guys came here for the long haul, because it's all about the journey. You got to be there at the end of this thing in order to make it mean anything. And it seems like, man, stage 1's been clean. I'm glad we didn't do the over-under on cautions, because I would have thrown a number out there and I might would have been a little bit off. Just under 10 laps remaining in the stage.
It feels like the ones that are going to occur are going to occur later. Ooh, big shove from the 00 of Van Scoik. Big shove from him to the car ahead. I think that was Tim Wortman.
Guess he's starting to show. Well, I was going to say he's starting to show where his allegiance lies, but that's not the case, as he did kind of drop back down behind the 24. Now, though, just out there trying to make his presence felt, just letting the 24 know that he is there. Kenny now pulling back up onto the 83. Now he's going to be inside trying to make a move here, come across start-finish line. Will he do it? Looks like he is clear. That's going to move Powell up one more spot back up into third. But just like that, you cannot count out the 00 of Van Scoik, as he is on a mission as well. This guy trying to get to the front, trying to get to the top. It's going to be definitely an exciting end to this stage with coming up on 5 laps to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Only 5 laps left, just about the end of this stage, folks. Thanks for joining us here for the ISCA Super Cup Series. If you're joining us in the beginning of the race, it's been great to have you. If you're just joining us now, hey, it's great for you to join us as well. We've got 30 laps here out of 167 going tonight. We've only got a few more until the end of stage 1. We'll see who wins it and brings home the stage points, and then we'll get a little break in before we kick things off for stage 2.
Got to give a shout out to Vincent Crowe, still leading this thing. He did take it from the green flag all the way thus far. There have been a couple league changes, but for most, the case has pretty much stayed the same. No new evidence.
Yeah. Nothing new. But Vincent Crowe is still sitting out in front. He was the pole position earlier, and he lost the position temporarily to I believe it was to Sean Senior. Kenny Powell, excuse me, thank you. And got it right back from him. And since then he's been sitting back out there.
Yeah,
Sean is up 4 positions. But yeah, it's been a wild ride for Vincent Crowe.
Yeah, 3 laps to go in this thing. Crowe's still doing what he needs to do. Sonora has moved up 1 position. He is now in 2nd position. Starting this thing in 3rd. Looks like the 77 of Ryan Strunk is going to come by. The 22 of Dave Fuge. That's going to put Strunk up into the top 10. That will put him in contention for one of those very, very valuable stage points. Man, there's a lot of battling to be going on right there for a point.
1 point, 1 measly point.
Yeah, but that point is going to matter, and you can definitely tell that just by the way it's being handled.
Exactly. It's all fun and games, and it's just 1 point until the championships are literally decided by 1 point.
Yeah, they have been, and that's why I definitely say that matters.
Absolutely.
White flag should be coming out this time be the last lap of the stage. Literally takes lap 35. Remember, stage 1 will be done once the 10th place driver crosses the line.
All right. Well, we love to see it. It looks like that's going to probably end up being Ryan Strunk, but let's wait and find out as we see Vincent Crowe, Sean Signori, and Kenny Powell, your 1, 2, 3 in the back stretch right now, getting ready to bring things home. It's Vincent Crowe in the front of that crew in the mane and tail livery. He's driving hard up to the wall in the tri-oval. Back down. There it is. Cross the line. And there it is, folks. That was it. That was your top 10 cars. We are going to relax for just a little bit, breathe out, stretch our limbs, get ready for stage 2. And when we come back, stage 2 from the ISCA Super Cup Series. So don't go anywhere.
Experience traditional Brazilian cuisine, served with the hospitality that Texas is famous for. Here at Texas de Brazil, you simply turn your card to green, and expert carvers serve you fine cuts of beef, lamb, pork, chicken, and Brazilian sausage. Turn your card to red when you want a break. Then repeat. Make reservations now at texasdebrazil.com.
And we are back with tonight's continued coverage of the ISA 250 here. Don't be joined in the booth by none other than Vincent Crow. Vincent Crow, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Man, what a stage one for you.
Yeah, I had a good qualifying effort. The team did a really good job. Sean taught me how to drive last night, and before Sean taught me, I was really struggling. Even in practice, I was really struggling, and Sean kind of taught me, and I think clean air was king for me right there, and I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Looked like you had the car to beat. Only challenger coming in the form of Kenny Powell there, but up early on. Do you think that thing's going to show its way through 3 solid stages here tonight?
I'm not sure. I'm going to try to do my best to sweep the stages here, and, I'm going to do a better job being a good teammate to my other guys if I can, and feed them good info, and maybe get one of the SAR cars in victory lane.
Oh, I like that. So who you shouting out here for your stage 1 victory here?
I got to shout out Sean. Let's call him Siggy in the thing. That's his Australian nickname is Siggy. So I got to shout him out. I got to shout out Mane and Tail, of course, and everyone. I hope everyone enjoys the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Go enjoy the Kentucky Derby this weekend. That's what a lot of the SAR cars are this weekend, is Kentucky Derby themed.
Well, Roger that. We'll let you get back to it there, Mane and Tail. Run your ass off. Hope we'll see you on the podium at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. I hope to talk to you in about 20 laps and again at the end of 167.
That was your stage 1 victor, none other than Mr. Vincent Crow. Now Sean Signori, his teammates, got us. Vincent actually is going to be leading us off here. Pace car is getting ready to get out of the way. Lights are off. Going to be leading us through the threshold for the coveted stage 2 takeoff. Going to see how these guys stack up in that Geico restart zone. 47 coming in, taking his time, and just like that, he takes off. A lot of the same way he did the first time, catching a lot of the field off guard yet again, getting a solid run. Kenny Powell giving chase. Remember, Kenny Powell's the only other driver that actually has led a lap in this thing besides the 47 of Vincent Crow. Joe?
Yep.
What are you thinking, Joe?
Well, I'm thinking that this restart looked a little bit rough from Sean Signori. Looks like he maybe didn't get off the line as well as he was hoping potentially. He fell back now. He's in 4th. Kenny Powell's up in 3rd. And now these guys are straightened out. I'm seeing a lot of aggression a little bit a ways back. J.C. Evans is moving up now in 6th. There's a lot of this restart has triggered something in just a few of these guys back here in around the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th positions. And we're seeing positioning for passing happening still, and as opposed to people settling into a nice long run to the end of stage 2.
Well, they got those first 2 laps to make these tires hot, and after that, they got about 3 laps of prime Goodyear real estate to try to make a dash or pass. And after that, you really want to kind of lay back and conserve. So I think J.C. Evans is being a little bit more aggressive earlier on because he is trying to get up front, because once he gets up front, I think he feels that it'll be easier for him to maintain a position than it would be to gain a position.
We've seen that out of Vincent Crow so far too. It's easy to maintaining position is definitely doable here. Gaining it though, that takes a lot of timing, a lot of precision, and we've had a couple of guys gain some positions with some good dives earlier on too. But we'll see. Specifically, even Vincent Crow had a really good dive earlier to gain the position that he's in right now. But anything could happen, and I've seen some guys already sliding a little bit toward the end of stage 1. So with this, when these new tires start to fall off toward the end of stage 2, well, let's see what happens with who makes it through. Ooh, contact right now. Van Scoik getting a little bit of a bump from J.C. Evans, not enough to turn him. But it was a good tap. It wasn't really a push, more of a tap into the corner of his car. We'll see if that contact comes back again anytime soon.
Well, it's interesting because, about 3.6 7 minutes ago you mentioned aggressive and J.C. Evans, and that's exactly. So as soon as you mentioned aggressive, I thought J.C., but then you said J.C., and then you just mentioned J.C. again. So yeah, I think we got to. That's the aggression right there, and that 9 is trying to put the screws to the 00, because Evans is one of these. He's a guy. He's a guy that's going to try to get. He's going to try to gain as early as he can. He drives hard early in the stage.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Driving hard early in the stages, it's a good way to get into a position that you can then fight to hold on to for the rest of the stage. And if you get clean air, though, it's not much of a fight. Look how spread out this field is right now. Look how much clean air is spread out throughout the cars on this field, and you can see that you're in good places.
You know, I was actually looking at that earlier in stage 1, just how big that gap was, because if you can believe it, with a field this small, I do believe once we come into stage 3, we might not have cautions, but we're definitely going to have a high probability of lap traffic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lap traffic is going to be a serious consideration for some of these guys going around here. They're going to have to make their way around them.
Yeah, especially if we don't have cautions. You're going to have either one or the other. You're going to have cautions or lap traffic, and I think tonight we're looking more in tune with lap traffic.
I agree wholeheartedly on that, Big Al. I think that based on just what I know out of this situation, we're going to end up with more lap traffic than we are than I probably expect. But let's see how much these guys can do. As Tim Wortman Jr., though, up in the front, has made a pass. Tim Wortman Jr. makes the pass and has taken the lead from Vincent Crowe.
Ooh, that 12 car just kind of butted the 29 in the turn. And I don't know a lot about a lot of stuff, but I know that's not the way you want to hit somebody in the corner there. That's not the way to make friends. Nick King there hit the 29 of Mark Sanchez. Maybe it's good between them, but it did not look like he was square when that contact came.
No, it didn't. Now Vincent Crowe is trying to get back the lead position. He's got it by just a nose, side by side with Wortman.
That's a little contact there between the leaders.
Yes, indeed. A little bit of trading.
That's a lot. Ouch. That's close racing there, especially in the world of netcode.
Yeah, when the netcode could at any moment decide that one of them is just going to slug the other one completely to oblivion, that's a lot of close racing they're doing right now.
Yeah, I love it, though. This is exactly what our virtual fans are loving, too. As you can see, all of the virtual fans are on their feet. What about you at home? What are you doing? What are you sipping on? How you feeling? Who are you pulling for? Talk to us. Let us know what's going on there in the chats.
Yes, please.
Talking to Big Al up in the chats. Don't get spicy.
It's something you love to see.
I'd take that
to
too
see
far.
the fans get involved. No, that was fine. We want our fans to get excited, get fired up about the race. That's the way I'm going to twist it.
Oh yeah, man. I want to see how many fans we truly have. Do we have any fans?
Yeah, I'm sure we do, Big Al. Only fan, just the one.
Yep, only fans.
No, I'm sure that we've got plenty, Big Al, and they're enjoying the race right now. And if you are a new fan of the ISCA, welcome and thank you for joining us for watching tonight's race out of Texas. Here, brought to you by Texas de Brazil. Look at that. Well, it lines up perfectly. We got a race at Texas, sponsored by Texas. And it's here up at the front. Once again, there is a little bit of activity going on. Tim Wortman Jr. has taken the lead sizably. As Kenny Powell just gives a shove to Vincent Crowe.
Yeah, when Vincent Crowe came by Kenny Powell, there's a little bit of a side draft conflict going on there between those two. But they seem to have made it out, but then they made incidental contact again. So these two definitely racing hard for the position. And if you are a new fan there, come on, like, subscribe, follow. I mean, I don't know what all of those mean, but I think they're important.
You hit them all on the head. You want like and subscribe. It depends on where you are. If you're on YouTube, you want to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. because you want to get all the notifications. You want to see every time that we go live and I post a new video to the ISCA's feed there. Let us know if you're in. If you watch on Twitch, you want to hit the follow button.
Follow button.
Yeah. So you got plenty of options, but any way you slice it, like, subscribe, hit that bell, follow. It all goes a long way, folks.
Speaking of going a long way, here comes the 7 of Sean Signor. He pushed a 00 of Chris Van Squeak up in front of Kenny Powell. Now J.C. Evans, Kenny Powell's teammate, he's going to come into the situation, going to give that G&G teammate just that boost that he needs. Now he is back up alongside the 7. These two are going to ride this thing off until the sunset. Stage 2 working itself pretty favorably in the books right now. I do believe we're coming pretty close to the end of this thing. I think we're at just under 4 laps here before the stage is over.
Something like that. I believe you are correct, good sir. Yep, just under 4 laps.
Then Wortman Jr., he's your leader right now. Vincent Crow's going to be trying to reel him in so he can put himself back up top.
He wants that double. He wants a reason to have a second W before the end of the race.
Got an 83 definitely getting off to a little bit of a lead. Now, we did see the 47 of Vincent Crow. He kind of stepped back a little bit stage 1 and allowed the 24 Kenny Powell to lead some laps. I'm wondering if he maybe stayed back a little bit too long, which has allowed Tim Wortman Jr. to get off to a little bit more of a sizable lead. Also, field is actually not as broke as your Bernays sauce. It's still kind of holding together. It's a little lumpy. But you think it's stuff going to cause problems in stage 3, though, Joe?
Still a little lumpy. You think it's going to cause problems?
I'm just saying, I mean.
Well, we got to get to stage 3 and see, don't we? We're almost there, though. Lap 59. That's the
right.
white
This
flag,
is the
I'm
last.
pretty sure, for this.
Definitely it is. And then you got a couple cars back here trying to make a difference, trying to get it in the books before it's over. Kenny Powell's one of those. He goes high, then he goes back low, being held up right now. Not held up, but being held at bay by the 77, the 47, and a 00. Kenny Powell started this thing off in P2, P3, I believe. Now he's trying to keep it respectable at a 5th place, but J.C. Evans is dragging Greg Wachinski into the fray. And these two guys are going to come up here and try to see if they got anything that can be said about it. And this will be the last and final lap. We're racing that 10th car to the line. Your 10th place driver is Mark Sanchez. He's the car that we will be watching. Tim Wortman Jr., leader, he is coming by with a pretty commanding lead right now. He's got Van Squeak behind him with Sean Signor in tow. Vincent Crow, Kenny Powell, J.C. Evans, Greg Wachinski, Bacon Zelenka, Nick King, and Mark Sanchez. That's the running order. That is your stage 2 top 10. And just like that, we've already counted them down and out. Tim Wortman, your winner. We're going to take another step away, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with whoever Joe wants to talk to.
Experience traditional Brazilian cuisine, served with the hospitality that Texas is famous for. Here at Texas de Brazil, you simply turn your card to green, and expert carvers serve you fine cuts of beef, lamb, pork, chicken, and Brazilian sausage. Turn your card to red when you want a break. Then repeat. Make reservations now at texasdebrazil.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here on the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday night, and we're talking to Tim Wortman Jr. Tim, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Hey, good job there at the end of that stage 2. How do you feel going into stage 3 here?
I feel pretty good other than this south wind whipping 20 mile an hour. It's making it really hard to make adjustments to the car to get it to feel good on both ends of the track. So made some adjustments there in stage 2 for the short run. Thought the car felt a little tight, so we reversed that back out, and we're just going to work on saving tires this stage.
Just work on saving tires, not bad. We were just talking in the booth a little bit about the wind. How much has the wind been hitting you guys tonight? Pretty hard?
So it seems like it's adding to the loose effect off turn 2, and then it's giving you a push in 3 and 4, but I don't know, I could be wrong on that. But I'm definitely feeling it.
Well, it's something that we're going to look for as we get into the third stage here. Is there anybody you want to shout out to real quick before we get you back on the track?
We'll just shout out you guys for, I'm sure that was a fun part of the broadcast right there. So thanks for the broadcast tonight, and I'll hopefully have some more people to shout out tonight in the post race. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Tim Wortman Jr., for your time. We'll get you back where you need to be in Discord, and we'll see you hopefully on Winners Road here. That was Tim Wortman Jr. We're going to get back to this race, folks. The pit lights are off on the pace car. Excuse me, the pace lights are off on the pace car, and very soon we're going to get things started again. Tim Wortman Jr., Charles Van Scoik up in front right now, Sean Signori and Vincent Crowe right behind them, coming through 3 and 4, getting ready to get things started again here at Virtual Texas Motor Speedway. We got 167 laps in total tonight that you're going to have, and right now we're on 64, so we have about 100 laps of sweet, sweet racing starting right now, because we are green yet again here on the ISCA Super Cup Series.
And Wortman Jr. wasting no time getting his show on the road, as he is now leading the direction that he wants to go. And that was very interesting what he said about the wind. We did talk about it. 3 wide right now for situation for 4th place. That's will be between the 24-7 and the 7:47.
Unfortunately, it looks like Wortman just fell back a little bit. He lost a little bit of speed. He's fallen back a 3rd now as Vincent Crowe and Van Scoik move up. Van Scoik, my pick for the race, currently in 1st. Very close to the wall there. Maybe not enough to make heavy contact, but remember, every little bit counts. It adds up in this kind of race. Van Scoik getting chased down by Vincent Crowe. And now Crowe just falls back a little bit. There's a lot of fluctuation happening up here at the very, very front between 1st and 2nd in terms of who's dogging who and who's got exactly what kind of momentum. It's been kind of hard to read. Overall, though, it looks like the field has calmed down, and they've settled into a nice little rhythm. There's a few moves there being made. It looks like Kenny Powell's making a move to the inside, to the outside. Yep. Moving down to the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Tim Wortman Jr. struggles continue. Maybe you think they over-adjusted. I mean,
Yeah, I think
It
so.
definitely seems to be, or maybe this is by playing by design. These guys are definitely going to have to pit, and those pit stops are looking more and more like they're going to be green flag pit stops, which at this track, that was one of the keys to the race. And I think the reason why it is one of the keys to the race is because you got to be able to get that thing down stop. These cars, I mean, once you're going as fast as you are here at Texas, and you're trying to get that thing lined up to actually access the pit road entrance, it's not really easy. So drivers are definitely going to be struggling to hit that mark. You're probably going to see, I'm not going to guarantee it, but it's a probability that you could see a caution actually from the pit stops. But anyway, we're not going to delay on that. Well, we get back to green flag racing, baby. That's what we've been doing all night. Kenny Powell and such made his way all the way back up to second place now. He has got Charles Van Squick directly in his sights down on the side of him. He is pulling up. This is a little bit of a flyby, giving him that Texas one gun salute as Kenny Powell puts his car on the podium here for the second time tonight. And that G&G Camry runs real strong about this time of the stage. Now, I don't know if Kenny's got that thing dialed in where he's actually going to be able to contest and contain the lead or maintain the lead, but I mean, we're dialed into it.
Yeah, I think he is dialed into it very, very well right now here. Van Scoik tucked in behind Kenny Powell. And behind him, Vincent Crowe. These guys are all dialed in right now. Any one of them could be leading 2 laps from now. Any one of them.
Yeah, and this field definitely starting to get spread out sooner than later here, which is going to... He's definitely going to be enjoying the benefits of clean air. That's the reason why you're out front. That's the reason why you drive hard to get there. Now, he might not be able to stay there the whole time, but he is definitely enjoying it right now, using that to his advantage. Further back in the pack, though, single file racing continues. Got to move for position there. The 7 car is going to be coming down on the inside of the 83 of Tim Wortman Jr. That 7 car being piloted by none other than Sean Signor. He's actually going to be successful there on that pass. That's going to put Signor up into 4th place. Nope, didn't work out.
Here comes Van Scoik again. Will not let go of the bumper of Powell. Just so close in that situation. These 3 all at 0 incidents currently, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, who's this on pit road and why are you here? Man, Gervais down pit road. I don't know.
Yikes.
Looks like he had a slight drive through there. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway.
Good question. I'm not going to presuppose too much on that one. That's a really tough one. Oh, he might be done. That's okay. Sometimes people's got to go.
Ryan Strunk's on pit road.
Big pass just
I don't know. We got a lot of stuff going on down on pit road. First, they had the 70. Let me get this straight. The 88 of David Gervais came down. It looks like those guys took it to the hauler. And then soon after that, the 77 of Ryan Strunk, he is down on pit road now. But down on the race circuit, he's going back to the hauler as well. All right, that's that attrition. That might eat up a little bit of that conflict that we were going to have during the some lap traffic. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Just a little bit of it. Just a little bit of it. I kind of like this little bit of it.
Well, those guys are definitely strong runners, and it'd be interesting to figure out why they did pack their crap and go home tonight. And it seems like it's a pretty equal field. Charles Van Scoik leading this thing. That 00, he's got Vincent Crowe behind him. I somehow keep getting the feeling that these guys are all affiliated with each other.
Yeah, you think so? I mean, they are, apparently.
Yeah, I could tell. Looks like they got another one of them coming up here, too.
The other one Bacon Zelenka, because he is affiliated with them as well.
Is he one of them also? Okay, we'll call these guys the Four Horsemen. And the fact that we're in Texas makes that only feel more fitting. And poor Kenny, I guess we'll call him, he's a lawman, but law don't go around here, obviously. Charles Van Squeek, Vincent Crowe, Sean Signori, and Bacon Zelenka. These guys definitely come here tonight with something to prove, and right now, looks like two of them are going at it head to head. That's going to be the 47 and the 0. Side by side coming into turn 1. The 00 goes down low. Look at that car's holding that bottom line.
It's been trading. They've traded positions several times in the last couple of laps here. The 00 and Vincent Crowe in the 47. It's been a bloodbath in terms of who's leading this race. You can ask at any point in time, and it'll be any one of about 3 different people.
Yeah, I think those guys just having some good old-fashioned camaraderie. Good old, camaraderie amongst teammates. But Kenny Powell, now he's going to try to sneak into the party, because he's going to go high on the outside of the 45 and the 47, going to find a way to split the group. And Walton Jr. is going to be down on the inside of the 45 of Bacon Zelenka. Now he comes up, going to square up on a 24 Kenny Powell. Powell makes his way past the 45. 45 is going to wash up. That's going to cost him a couple serious spots in a short period of time. He is still not done falling, because now you got J.C. Evans, and he's back here saying, I'm with the government. I'm here to help run. Bacon run.
Run, Bacon, run. Was that line from that famous movie from the late 90s?
That was Run Forrest Run.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, how soon I forget. It's all good, though. These guys going around now are approaching the triple digits, which will be there in about 15 laps.
J.C. Evans right down on the inside of the 45. Kenny Powell coming high on the 47. He's going to be trying to best Vincent Crowe. He's got the 83 of Tim Walton, Virginia behind him to try to make sure that he can make that happen. Powell now cleared the 47. He is back up into third place. Just like that, we're halfway through this thing.
Hey, boom, boom. And at this pace, we're going to be making some great time, folks. We are really lucky to have the guys in the ISCA out here right now doing their thing. They are keeping it clean, keeping it green, keeping it respectful as we go around. And we've still had some exciting racing in the middle of all that.
Indeed. The 7 car, Sean Signori, wasting no time getting this thing going. Now he's starting to get out to a little bit of a comfort value there. He's got about a half-second lead over second place Van Squeek. But Squeek, the one thing that we did notice is once you get a lead here, if you can get a sizable lead, it's really hard for the guys to reel you back in. And we saw that happen at the last stage. Sorry, dog fart.
That's all right. Yeah, and that's what's happening right now. Is it's hard to get reeled back in once you've got a sizable lead, and that's where Charles Van Squeek is right now. That's where Sean Signori is right now. They've both got decent gaps with the guys in front of them, the guys behind them.
Yeah, well, just 13 laps to go to the flip of this thing. You know, you're starting to wonder, like, what is going to be their strategy as far as, pit strategies. They are approximately just under halfway of that tank of gas. So what I'm thinking is that tank of gas is going to ring synonymous with, 4 tires, full tank of gas, and that's what it's going to take to get to the end of the thing. So I think drivers definitely going to stay out, and they'll be out there until such time as they split the difference on fuel. Still always do that, but it's. I don't think it's too early to start talking pit strategies right here.
No, not yet. I mean, it's a really good time to start talking. If you haven't started talking about it, now is the time you have to, because this is where it's going to come into play more than ever, is during this run right here. What's your pit strategy here? Well, what would you do? Let's say that you were Sean Signore and you were out in front at this point. When would you pit? Would you wait till the last second and drive past E, or would you really be good about it and try to get down a little early and get pitted and get everything done?
Fuming it. I'm going to stay out as long as I possibly can. Yep.
All right.
What about yourself?
I have a feeling I would tend to play it more conservatively. Like if I took a look and was like, oh, I'm in the fuel window, I would just go pit. I would go pit, and then I wouldn't worry too much about what everybody else was doing. Because I know that it would set me up for later. So I would probably just go do it. If I was in the window. If I was out of the window, like early, no, I wouldn't pit. If I was late, I'm just not paying attention, obviously. But if I'm right in the fuel window or right on it, I would pit. I would do a regular pit stop.
I do believe
I wouldn't be able to help it.
Got a 22 and a 27 coming down, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. That careful entering pit road. Not sure why we're so busy on pit road right now.
Not me either. Sounds like a couple people had some boo-boos maybe they got to deal with, or they wanted to get some pit stops in early. But we got about 3 people on pit road right now. A few of which look like they are making their way back out of pit road.
Interesting. Now the field broken into 2 discernible groups.
And let's see where the battles are. Side by side. A little bit of action here. And Skoik getting passed now by Wortman Jr. Wortman Jr. makes the pass nice and clean. He's got the lead now. He's moved up to second. Van Skoik down to third. Right behind Van Skoik, it's Kenny Powell with not J.C. Evans, but Vincent Crow on the inside. Crow and Powell. Powell into the wall slightly. Doesn't cost him anything. Powell into the wall slightly. Doesn't cost him anything. Watching now the battle between Vincent Crow and Kenny Powell. Trying to see if there's any other battles on the field here. We just saw a little one. Tim Wortman Jr. making the pass on Van Skoik. As I do a little bit of scanning and trying to see what's going on with the rest of these drivers. We have a few who are getting cycled through as part of the lap project here. Derek Jacobs, Dave Fuge, and Ryan Strunk. And there's Greg Wachinski just makes the pass on J.C. Evans. Well, nope, it's back and back. It's neck and neck here. Evans ahead of Wachinski.
Oh, man.
We're almost to the triple digits now. After that, it'll be 67 laps to go.
Yeah, this thing's slowly counting itself down. As you're seeing Mark Sanchez there, it looks like he is trying to break the draft.
It's one of those tracks that's deceptively a little larger. It feels a little larger than it is. And right now, these guys are finding out every inch of that track and how to drive it. Speaking of which, Wortman tucked in behind Seniorius again.
Yeah, Tim Wortman Jr. definitely going to be trying to utilize as much of the draft as he can because he understands that the easiest way to get through this track. But you got to enjoy the show that these four are putting on here tonight. The Four Horsemen, we're going to dub these guys after the Texas performance.
I like it. It's a good nickname. The Four Horsemen. Ugh. Is it a reference to the Bible or wrestling or both? Because the Four Horsemen in wrestling are also a very good reference to make here.
Yeah, you picked your reference. Yeah, I don't know about making it biblical so soon, but
well, let's go with the wrestling reference, and I can be Arn Anderson, or I can be Ric Flair.
Interesting.
There we
pick.
go.
Okay, there you go. Was there Brett in there?
No, the Four Horsemen were Arn and Ole Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Ric Flair.
I feel like a Brett.
Yeah.
You don't feel like the nature boy?
Woo! Wrong sport. Everybody should watch more professional wrestling, though. Just going to throw that out there real quick while we keep things on the track. Sean
Yeah, you speak my language, though. Old school, way back wrestling fan.
We'll have to talk some wrestling real soon here, my friend. In the meantime, let's see where the action's at. Action looks like it's pretty spread out on the track right now, folks. Everybody has kind of gotten to this natural point where, like we said, clean air is best right now at Texas. And there's only two cars right now who are not getting any clean air, and it's Sean Signori and Tim Wortman Jr. Everybody else completely spread out.
Yeah, it looks like Tim Wortman Jr. has actually caught up with Sean Signori, and this is definitely going to cause him a little bit of contention because, you know, Wortman's not going to be comfortable sitting there in P2. He's going to want to get back up front. He's going to want to lead this thing 40 laps. They say about 17 laps to go before they're busted, and they've got about 14 laps to go before they're solidly into their fuel window.
Okay, once they're in that window, anything goes at that point. They're going to need to pop down, going to need to get some gas, going to need to figure out what
Green
the next
flag
step
pit stops
is.
within the next 10.
Oh, gotcha. Lots of drama still yet to come here on the track as the guys from the ISCA go around and give you the rest of this 167 laps. We're on 105 right now, folks. We're almost to the 60-lap mark in tonight's race. So thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now for the first time, it's been a steady but exciting race, especially up here at the front so far. If you've been joining us from the beginning, has it worked out for you in terms of your pick? Has your pick been doing well so far? Let us know. Hit us up.
Well, my pick was doing well until my pick started getting picked on by somebody else's pick.
But
now, Tim Wortman Jr. is going to make it around the 7 car. That's going to mix it up for the lead one more time. Probably going to be one of the last lead changes, I believe, before we actually get to go into the green flag pit stops. And the way this field is split, I do believe you're going to see everybody pretty much come when the leaders come, or the back group's going to go ahead and take itself in unceremoniously early. But you can definitely tell those guys that there's a true handling deficiency that exist within half the field.
Ooh, within half the field, you say?
Yeah, just maybe a little under. Yeah, half these dudes are struggling.
Well, I'd love to see them struggle just that
That's
little
gonna
extra
start
bit harder.
Yeah, 10th place, I say Richard Kleiman. From Kleiman back, is a total, well, nope, from the 29th car, Mark Sanchez. So he is in 10th place. So from Sanchez back, it looks like these guys are running a completely different race than from Tim Wortman Jr. all the way up to Nick King.
Right now, lap 109. It still looks like it's Tim Wortman, Sean Signor, Charles Van Scoik. Van Scoik getting watched by Wachinski for a potential switching of places. Wachinski wants that third place spot, wants that podium finish if he can get it. Oop, can't quite get the momentum this time. A little far back. Here comes Wachinski, though, on the inside. Van Scoik can't do anything about this. Third place is his. Wachinski takes third with a smooth pass on the inside from Van Scoik.
Yep. That's one of those need to happen things. Greg needed to make that position. Now he is up in the third place, and good on Greg. He is having a solid run here tonight, man. Green flag pit stops looks like they're underway to 58 cars down. So we're right at the beginning of the window. Richard Kleiman, which means that his car was handling so bad that he just had to get out of it,
Yep. I understand. I've been there before when the car is just really not driving the way you need it to, and you need to fix it the way that it is. Oof.
Just like that green flag pit stop, the window is open. We're looking to see if we got any more takers. Only one car thus far has come down. That has been the 58 car, Richard Kleiman. Right now, the leader, the 83 car, Tim Wortman Jr. He is intent on staying out, and indeed, he is running this thing. As you see, the 58 cars will be trying to do everything he can to stay on the lead lap. Not sure he's going to be able to make that happen, but if he does come out, and he will, so kudos to him. Now, that will be the car to beat. That will be the marker right there, because he is definitely going to start to make his way back around the track, and one day in the foreseeable future, he might even be your leader.
Hey, that's very true. Anything can happen here, and there's still possibilities left. It seems like the race is almost in the winding down position, but really it's still winding up. A lot of things could still happen here with someone wrecking out the field or causing a wreck on the inside. We'll see.
Green flag pit stops. I mean, that's a big one in it. So guys don't usually get an opportunity to even do those. So practicing them, you very rarely see guys practicing. But this is the league that I say you run for show, but you pit for dough. So being able to get that thing down, to within the restricted speed, hit the marks, that's a tall order. And we've already seen one car mess that order up already, the 43 car, Paul Olson. He is now down on pit road. Paul didn't mess it up. I was just letting you know that green flag pit stops are underway. Now that Paul's a Ted, they're gonna be dominoes.
Yep. Now that he's doing it, everybody else is gonna start doing it too. Let's see what happens. I'm watching on the broadcast here. I want to see if we can time this out. There goes the 83. Wortman through the tri-oval. Kicks off 118, I think it is for him. 117, excuse me.
Kenny Powell pit road. Yeah, now that you see that, now you're starting to wonder because Powell's got a fast car. You know, just both Tracy Chapman and that Luke said it. Luke Bryan said it. So now that you see him down on pit road, you definitely got to start to think from the leader's perspective. That's a pony to chase right there. The 5 car, Greg Wachinski, he's down on pit road. Greg was running 3rd.
He was. Now he's back down running 9th, unfortunately.
50 laps to go, and the leaders were showing no signs of slowing down. At least not now. There's Jay Hone. He is down on pit road in the 19 car. The 47 car is coming to pit road. That's going to be one of the 4 horsemen.
The 47?
Yes.
Yes, it is. I agree with that. Vincent Crowe deserves that title. There he goes.
Oh, leader pit road. There it is. Stops happening. Seeing those guys. See how the 7's slowing down way hard right there trying to get in. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Wow. Yep, you got to slow down. You can't go screaming past the cones here. It'll cost you.
48 laps to go. Now I'd say green flag pit stops have officially begun now that the leader is down on pit road. Just be a matter of time before other cars follow suit.
Yep. With Van Scoik going through it, Signori, Wortman, everybody else is going to be following suit any second. So we'll see. Start keeping your eyes open. See Mark Sanchez is heading down pit road.
Ooh.
That's the first one I think I can see since this sort of unofficially kicked off. And we'll look for a few more. Van Scoik down pit road again. Wonder what happened there.
I think that was his first stop, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. I thought that was the second time. I was off.
Well, but back on the racetrack, though, things are starting to pick up. Looks like we've only got a couple of drivers that have not yet come down for service. Nick King, Bacon Zelenka, and Jeremy Clapper-Newell. We'll be watching these 3 drivers because I do believe they'll all be coming down here within the next 2 to 3 laps. But they've just shattered your theory of 57 laps on that tank. Because they're pushing clear 60 now, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying about fuming it.
Well, I hope.
Yeah, I'd run her dry.
Yeah. I think I would probably try to do the same after hearing that advice, man. Just drive as far as I could and try to get to the point where I was hiccuping before I had to come across the line. I had to come across the pit road. I just sort of coast my way through it.
And it definitely it terrorizes the rest of the field because they're thinking, man, these guys they're on 61 lap old equipment and their cars are still handling like that. That's crazy. My car starts to suck at 40. And you know, you want guys to have that mentality because when these guys come back out there on pit road, they're going to be going for the gusto. They're going to have the fastest 3 cars for the longest amount of time. So just think about that. Still got the first 2 that are out there that have not yet come down. That's the 49er Clapper and Vincent Crowe. Wait. They're coming down now.
There you go. Kind of want to see what happens here. There he goes. Out in front right now. Clapper Newell getting chased down by one of the lap cars. Richard Kleinman. The head of the lap cars in this case.
Yeah, but Clapper Newell, 65 laps on this run.
That's really impressive on this with this fuel.
And that's what I was looking for. I just wanted to see who was, somebody's going to be out there. Somebody's going to risk it, man. There he is. Now with just 40 laps to go, once he does pit, he's putting himself back in the stage 1 type configuration.
Yeah. And it's going to
you just think about that.
Really good.
Yeah, because you just think about that. You go back in, you're like, hey, look, with 40 laps, that's somewhere between stage 1 and stage 2. Like Donald didn't make it fast, and you go back out there, and at this point, you got some guys that are already back up to 12 laps. You got Richard Kleinman, who started this party. He is at 17 laps. Well, actually, Derek Jacobs, 35 laps. So, yeah, these guys are sitting in the most awesome spot ever.
Lap 129, cresting 130. Hey, folks, again, if you're just joining us here, great to have you. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe button, hit that bell if you're watching on YouTube. Follow along with all the escapades we have here on the ISCA. As right now, we've had some serious green flag racing here from Texas. It has been clean. It has been crisp. It has been a solid race. 130 laps out of 167 tonight. Not bad at all.
Leader pit road. So he did. He drug it all the way out for 67 laps, guys. That's pretty dang impressive.
Phew. Wonder what finally made him realize, like, I got to go down on this time. I've been over the line almost 10 laps past what the fuel window was for this car. When should I stop? Oh, right around here is good.
Well, if he didn't need the fuel and handling wasn't a problem, why would you come in? You don't come in until you need gas, right?
Exactly.
37 laps to go. That's going to put these guys as close to stage 1 handling. That's the setup. Put it back in, dial it up, put it in, and run with it. Wind's off by about 2 miles per hour, but other than that, man, track conditions are pretty much plumbed. That's going to put Sean Signore back in the lead of this thing. We'll be watching them, and these guys will be coming up. We'll see how this thing shakes itself out here.
And shake out it will. Some beautiful views of our guys going around here. Camera locked in right now on Sean Signore. Signore out in front, has been for a while. Kenny Powell, Signore, and Crow have been dominating this race. The three of them have been alternating leads, alternating who's been in charge, but so far for the most of stage 2 here, it's been Sean Signore leading things. Even through the pit stop, I think it was them leading things through that.
Indeed, watching these two guys continue to do their thing. Last lap, that last fastest lap time was held by none other than Nick King with a 30.006.
Ooh.
Fastest lap time overall, though, is held by Bacon Zelenka. That's at a 29.736.
Bacon doing very good tonight overall. Solid drive as usual. Good numbers on the board, too.
Yep, just 32 short laps before this one's in the books, man. Looks like it's been clean and green all night. Drivers throwing huge accolades to themselves, man, for being able to come out here and make that happen. And you made Big Al happy. You got us through the green flag pit stops, man. That just, it's like a diabetic getting dessert. You know what I mean?
It's just, it's you get what you finally want, but in this case, you don't have to worry about the insulin shot.
Amen, right?
Amen. Well, so I'll take the dessert without having to worry about any of the consequences. This has been some dessert in terms of green flag. If you like races that go green, if you like races that go green, and when you start to see that long game strategy play out and start to see who's doing what, this is it. This will be the race to rewatch right here.
Yeah, that's definitely been a treat. This one where you can just put it on, just fast forward and let everybody go by a lot faster. Make me sound like I'm Chinese.
Yeah. It'll
Something
go by
like
a
that.
lot
Kind of
quicker.
like yours going backwards,
That's right.
but me going forward.
There we go. And Sean Signore is leading things through here. Once again, Signore, Crow, Powell, your 1, 2, 3. Crow and Powell were originally the pole position and second place. They're just down one position from where they started, but Sean Signore is up 5 positions from where he started tonight's race. Not too many hard chargers right now. A little bit of movement. Van Scoik, he's up a total of, I think, he's up 3 from where he started right now. So he's another mover. Excuse me, he's up 6 from where he started. There we go. Trying to read the right row here. Oh, Tim Wortman Jr. is up 6. J.C. Evans is up 3. Mark Sanchez is down 6, unfortunately. So we got people all over the place here. But the average is about around between 3 to 6 or so in terms of how many places are getting moved up and down. You can see there on the left side of your screen, folks, a little breakdown for yourself of how things stack up amongst the leaders.
Most of them 4 horsemen riding them Fords around there, boy. Got that one Toyota there. That's that 7 of Sean Signore. He is up front right now leading this thing. He's been showing us the way for quite some time. Vincent Crow, though, then the 47's right behind him. Then you got Greg Wachinski looking for a chance to be on the podium here tonight, as we are actually down to 25 laps to go, and we're showing no cautions for calls. Only 2 for stages tonight. Been a great race. Great night for racing. Just slapped me around there and wake up.
Oh, you're good, buddy. I've been making mistakes like that all night. It has been a great night for racing. Great day for racing out in virtual Texas, though. As you can see, the sun is getting ready to set. The wind has been blowing hard enough that some of these guys have mentioned it's affecting them on the tracks. We spoke to Tim Wortman Jr., and he mentioned that it was pushing around. It would push them out of 3 and 4 and make it a little bit slippery out of 2. So you got to be careful with it, but if you can use it to your advantage, man, this wind will really give you a boost. there in front. Chansenior. Very far out. Vincent Crowe in second. Greg Wyszynski close enough to call third. Still a challenge for Vincent Crowe. That's where he might find himself if he's not paying attention, because Wyszynski is sitting there just saying, hey, make a mistake. Make any mistake at all, and I will take that third place spot right out from under you so fast your head's going to spin.
Yeah, definitely. Greg is sitting right there waiting to pounce. With only 21 laps to go in this thing, though, he's definitely found himself in a pretty dang keen position. Is this what you thought? Has this met your expectations or exceeded them here tonight, Joe? Or were you expecting it to be a little more on the crudgy side?
This has met my expectations. Honestly, when I saw that we had about 19, 20 cars in the field, I thought, we got the ISCA, 19, 20 cars out here. We're going to go green all the way, baby. Like, we're going to go green all the way. We've got the right kind of attitudes to keep this green flag racing alive. We got good skills and pedigrees built up. I think that we're going to, if we really play our cards right, this is going to be a green flag race for the entire race. And so far, it has been. Not bad.
True story.
I'm sticking to it. It's the best I got. Here we go, though. I'm still watching this Vincent Crowe situation here, because Greg Wyszynski is going to make his move at some point here. We are under 20 laps to go in tonight's race. Flying by, zipping by. Very soon, we're going to be down to that 3 to go situation.
Yeah, I mean, we're into the teens on this thing here. Just 18 laps to go. When the leaders come by the line, it'll be 17, and this is go time. So for everybody that's been suited up, been sitting back, been kind of just like watching, now it's time to kind of get up in the seat, you know, kind of get everything dialed in, pull your seat belts tight there on that 5 point, and let your nuts hang a little bit. It's go time.
It's go time indeed. It's a great way to put it. I'm sure that's how Vincent Crowe feels right now, and that's definitely how Greg Wyszynski feels. It's go time, baby.
Wyszynski is definitely not watching the sky. He is putting it in that bumper where the sun don't shine, and that has definitely made Vincent Crowe a little bit more uncomfortable as Wyszynski kind of run him up the track just a little bit. He is going to be dialed right back down in there, giving himself a good old Texas-style draft partner going in. Now he's down on the inside trying to make it work. Rotating through the corner, can he get it done? Oh, coming back on that throttle, hoping she don't wash up. 47 car still going to get that run. Vincent's going to be able to hold him off, but at least Crowe knows he's there, and that, my friend, is a whole nother set of circumstances. It's one thing for a guy to be on you like that, something totally different for you to be aware that that guy's on you, because it's going to make you watch the relative and your mirrors and the front of the track. You can't do it all at the same time. Wyszynski one more time coming down on the inside, trying to get that roll-off rotation. It's going to be hard to do that. You're just driving a Chevy. Just like that, the Ford saves the day.
Well, let's hear it for the Ford.
The crowd goes wild. This is kind of a classic, you know, battle there. Right now we got a Toyota, a Ford, and a Chevy all jockeying for the podium, right?
Yeah, all going for the podium. That is a classic battle. And across the line comes Vincent Crowe, still fighting off the attentions of Greg Wyszynski as we get down to the last 10 laps. of tonight's race, or very close to the last 10 laps. Excuse me, last 12 laps of tonight's race, folks.
Yeah, that's right. Be 12 to go at the line, 13 current count. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm looking and I'm looking and there's some names out there. There's a Van Squeak, and he is lurking. He is on his way. You know, there's some names out there on the complex that the drivers up front might be aware of, even though we do just got 12 laps to go. Maybe these guys will run out of time. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be there and maybe they'll be there in time for breakfast.
I hope so. Is it a good continental breakfast?
Oh, yeah. It's a Texas continental breakfast.
The Texas continental breakfast. Oh, my God. Everything's bigger in Texas. Served on a shilling. Oh, my God. I love it. Ugh, love a good breakfast. Good hearty breakfast is the way to start the day, baby, even though I hardly ever eat breakfast. I'm going to eat breakfast tomorrow with the knowledge of this race swimming through my head. The memories of this race, the memories of green flag racing all the way, folks. 10
all the way,
lap
baby.
Warning. I'm calling
all
it.
the way through.
I'm calling it here. We have 10 laps to go. I'm going to say that we'll make it to the green-white checker without any yellow flags. So help me if I can do anything about it.
And if my driver could just hold on and win this thing, that'd be like a freaking three-peat for me. I'll be showing how good I really am. What do you think?
Oh, you'd be in great shape. I'm banking on your driver and maybe one other driver causing some trouble at the beginning of the front, and then my guy who's sitting in fourth sailing across the finish line first place. That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Sailing takes me away to where I'll always dream. Something like that, right?
Song. Yep. Just a dream, the wind will carry me. Soon I will be free.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Christopher Cross, everybody. Christopher Cross.
We got a little ISCA karaoke going on there between Big Al and JoJo Lacoste.
Hey, I can appreciate that. That was fun. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Next, we'll do Ride Like the Wind, another good Christopher Cross song. I play that when I go bowling. Anyways, we got, 7 laps left now? It's gonna be stuck in your head now. It's gonna be stuck in your head.
Yeah, I got you. 7 laps to go. That's right. We're gonna gotta bring it back in from the bar top and get it back into the box here.
Roger that.
Looks like Sean Signori's doing everything that he is supposed to do. He's currently got the 83 at bay. Sorry.
83 at bay. Yeah, it's working for him.
The double zero, Van Squeak is holding off the 83 and the 24.
There we go.
That battle right there, these guys are Van Squeak is trying to catch up to Wachinski. See if he can't put that ride on the rack tonight. But like I said, like you said, he's running out of time. 6 laps to go, just 6 laps to go. The 7 car, Sean Signori, that's been the story, is he has got a commanding lead. He has been out front for the majority of the contest this evening. Got the 47 car, Vincent Crow. That's going to be one of his teammates behind him at 5 laps to go. These guys, I don't see anything that's going to stop them, Joe.
No, I don't see anything either that's going to really get in their way at this point. At this point, things are so spread out. We have seconds of gaps between any cars. We've got 4 laps to go, and everyone is running at peak condition, considering that most of them have hit around lap 119. We're well within the fuel window. We're well within, the tires are all in the same tired state. Everyone's driving the same set of, sleepy buttery tires at this point. So it's such an even playing field. I don't think anyone's got the advantage. I think everyone is on the same footing, and they're just going to have to get across the line as is in one piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what happened to Jeremy Clapper Newell? Did he actually bust it on pit road?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because he was actually
back a little ways, yeah.
He's a lap down. I mean, he was in the sweet spot.
Taya Middleton on YouTube says Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Get ready to wrap it up. 3 laps to go.
Yes, sir. Bring it home.
2 laps to go. Man, Sean has got a nice sizable lead. He's not feeling any pressure right now. Vincent Crowe is going to be considerably back by over 2 seconds, so definitely the leader enjoying that. The 45 car, Bacon Zelenka. Bacon is back out. He is trying to make his way around. He's currently scored in 6th place. But, man, there's really not a lot to talk about as we come around on this final lap. Looks like everybody's just content to end up where they end up. And that's kind of good for everybody. Yeah, no beating and banging. No shoving, no pushing.
And I think that's good. Honestly, I think that's better. If we're going to have a race that goes all the way like this, let's have it end the way that it should. Let's keep it clean.
Yeah, no sense of bringing us all back together for nothing, right? Man, while Sean's going ahead and running around, let's go ahead and run through the we can get the results in probably before he starts his burnout. Sean Signori, your winner. Vincent Crowe coming in 2nd. Greg Wachinski 3rd. Charles Van Scoik in 4th. Tim Walton Jr. 5th. Bacon Zelenka 6th. 7th place Kenny Powell. 8th place J.C. Evans. Nick King in 9th. And Mark Sanchez marks out your top 10.
Rounding out the last half of the racetrack, 11th is Jeremy Clapper Newell. 12th, Paul Olson. 13th, Jay Hone. 14th, Richard Kleinman. 15th, Derek Jacobs. 16th, Dave Fuge. 17th, Ryan Strunk. 18th, Dave Gervais. And 19th, Paul Ferdiani.
Gonna watch and rate this burnout here.
All right. Let's see what you give it. It's not bad. A little back, a little forth. I will give that 22.
22 out of what?
That's the mystery, see.
Roger.
I'll say out of 25. I'll give them a good score.
All right, I'll go 24. But I'm not going to say out of what.
And that's the burnout. Folks, we are going to take a short break, I believe. And when we get back, we're going to have some interviews. We're going to talk to the people who brought you this race, and we'll see how they think they did. So stick around.
Experience traditional Brazilian cuisine, served with the hospitality that Texas is famous for. Here at Texas de Brazil, you simply turn your card to green, and expert carvers serve you fine cuts of beef, lamb, pork, chicken, and Brazilian sausage. Turn your card to red when you want a break. Then repeat. Make reservations now at texasdebrazil.com. Experience traditional Brazilian cuisine, served with the hospitality that Texas is famous for. Here at Texas de Brazil, you simply turn your card to green, and expert carvers serve you fine cuts of beef, lamb, pork, chicken, and Brazilian sausage. Turn your card to red when you want a break. Then repeat. Make reservations now at texasdebrazil.com.
Hey, we're back with the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday nights. We're here at the post show, and we've got some racers to talk to now about how the race went, and they're up in the booth with us. Let's talk to the podium finishers and see how they enjoyed or appreciated or experienced or hated or loved tonight's race out of Texas Motor Speedway. First things first, we're going to be talking to the third place finisher, Greg Wachinski. Greg, you doing pretty good tonight after sounds like we during the commercial break, we were talking a little bit. You had a little bit of wall trouble there at the end.
Yeah, hit the wall there with like 10 to go. And what's crazy was Vincent and I both hit the wall at the same time, the same way. So he better have wheel damage too. That's all I know. Because it looked like we were in unison. But yeah, I mean, it hit the wall there with 10 to go. It gave me a little bit of wheel damage. I mean, this car was still driving all right, but I wasn't going to pass anybody at that point.
Talk to me a little bit about your strategy here. Toward this race went green the whole way, and having that as kind of the way that things played out, was that how you saw things going tonight?
I mean, I just the first two stages, I just was saving my tires and just seeing how much effect that had, and it worked pretty well. And I did the same thing in the third stage on the first run, just saved my tires for 10-15 laps, and just everybody just kind of started coming back to me. And then the last run there, I did run a little harder. I was racing Vincent pretty hard there for a bit, so I know that probably used up some tires. But I mean, Sean, that guy just took off. He was gone. So congrats to him.
Well, we're going to find out later how he felt about that. But hey, anybody you want to shout out to or thank for tonight's race?
Thank you guys for all your hard work that you do, you and Kobe and Big Al. Obviously the ISCA, Kenny, for putting everything on. My teammates over at G&G Racing, and Moza is my sponsor on my car. So I just got a new Moza racing wheel about a month ago, and I love it. So that's why it's on my car.
All right. Okay. Good shout out to the manufacturer there. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully here in the podium interview spot very, very soon.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, Greg. I'm going to pass things over to Big Al now. He's going to be talking to Vincent Crow. Take it away, Big Al.
Hey, Vincent. Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, we meet here one more again, brother. You didn't quite get back around just in time, but man, what a solid run for you. What a solid night. How you feeling?
I don't think I should be disappointed in myself. I really struggled at my hitting my lines and hitting my marks the majority of this race. When I had the lead, it was a little easier to do. Clean air seemed to be everything, and when I let Sean by, I was he had about 3 or 4 lap better tires than me. I figured my only chance is that Kenny Powell would drive and race him pretty good, and I think Kenny Powell did, but by the time I realized that Sean was taking off, I was already like a second and a half back, and I just didn't have anything for Sean. He ran a perfect race. He's got the prettiest car in the field, and I'm glad to see him win back-to-back.
And saying that makes me think you might have had a hand in that paint scheme.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a solid paint scheme.
Maybe. I mean, a little bit.
Yeah. How was the wind down there on you?
It was good. It was nice. It was breezy. My hair was flowing. The beautiful mane was flapping in the wind.
Okay, so no issues for you or the car there.
No, I mean, I think Greg and I both hit the wall at the same time. I feel like I kind of scraped it a little bit. I don't feel like I hit it that good. I never got wheel damage or anything from it. It was just the way that you have to pitch the car into one. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I'm pretty sure Sean almost wrecked me and almost got wrecked, not wrecking me because of how slow and bad I was into turn 1 on like 3 occasions tonight. So
did you find it is it a challenge negotiating 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4?
Yeah, I mean 3 and 4 is there's a little bit of finesse in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 is just so difficult here. It's probably the most difficult set of corners on an oval, I think, on any racetrack. I can't think of another oval that is a more challenging corner than specifically 1 and 2 at Texas. Even with like the lower horsepower and downforce situation we have on this car, just you have to be really, really specific. It's so line sensitive, and I don't think it's a set thing. I think everyone was dealing with the same thing. I would follow Sean, and I could see if Sean didn't hit his marks in 1 and 2, I would, you know what I mean? Like I would be better than him in that set of corners for sure. Like I would gain a lot of time on him. He was just better than me at doing that lap after lap for sure.
Well, definitely, but P2, man, that's not too bad at all, especially when you've been bested by the best, right?
A little. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Okay,
I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I would go that far, but no, I'm kidding. Good job to everyone. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Roger. Who you shouting out tonight, boss?
Mane and Tail, Straight Arrow, incorporated the entire set of brands. Oh, and Jerry. Jerry has been dealing with a little bit of a health concern on his end, so obviously sad Jerry's not here. I love talking to Jerry. Jerry's a great guy to hang around with. He's a good driver, so missing Jerry tonight. I hope he's doing all right if he's watching this. Jerry, just know that we were thinking about you, and we're hoping you're gonna be back next week.
Roger that, boss. That's all I say. Don't party too hard, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Back to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Big Al. We're going to go ahead and take things over to the first place finisher, Sean. Now, guess what? I get to ask you how to pronounce your last names. I don't think I've asked you yet. How do I pronounce your last name?
It's Signori. You asked me last week.
I did. I did. Oh my God, Signori! I knew it.
All right.
I'll
keep
sorry.
winning so you can keep reminding it.
You see, that's the ticket. That's why I do it. I pretend to forget so that I can ask you again because I know you're going to be up here. Well done, back-to-back wins, and you've got to be coming down from some crazy high after this. But you had a lot of green flag racing tonight. I know I asked earlier about if that's what folks expected, but going into Texas, what was your expectation? Were you just hoping to get out in front and stay out in front?
Well, it's always been a good track, and I've always had a lot of success here. So I kind of figured I would be about a third, fifth place car, and kind of just bided my time there those first 2 runs. And I noticed towards the end of the run, I felt like I was a little quicker than everybody else, and tried to make it work and put myself in position in the middle of stage 3 to get back up there.
And you did very well. So you led quite a good amount of this race tonight. What was there anything different about the vehicle? Any adjustments that you had to make? We heard some people make adjustments because of the wind. Were there any on-the-fly adjustments you found yourself making or tweaking to the car during this run?
Well, I actually went up on my tire pressures at one point just because I felt like I was sliding a little too much there in stage 1 towards the end because I had a shot to get Vincent and wasn't able to close the deal. So I did make an adjustment there, and I fine-tweaked it, for the second pit stop, and it seemed to work out. It seemed like it was hitting it right on the nail, and made myself, have the confidence to stay out front.
Did any fatigue ever start to set in later in this race? I mean, we had a lot of green flag racing, and having to hold on to the lead and just being out there for a while. I know that can start to make things get a little bit dizzy for some drivers out there. But you're an old enough hat at this. Was it ever a point where your arms started to get a little burny there?
My eyes start to bother me after too long staring at the screen and, being super focused. I guess I blink less when I'm super focused, and, my eyes do start to burn there. Those last 10, 15 laps, I kind of was just cruising because just knowing I didn't want to make a mistake and knowing that I had those guys in the spot where they couldn't catch me.
Yeah, they were far enough back that it was going to be very, very hard for them. So congratulations again, my friend, on a great victory here from Texas Motor Speedway. Is there anyone you want to shout out to or thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Chuck for the setup, man. He hooked me up with a setup, before we got into this deal, and I was able to get some practice on it. And it seems like that was the winning combination there. And it kind of sucks that he wasn't able to, get back up there in that last run and race it out with me. And I also want to thank my NIS teammate Brian. He's been a buddy of mine and a teammate of mine on here for 10, 15 years, and a sponsor of mine. He's always gotten me equipment when I needed it, and check out burstcloud.co for all your file sharing, man.
FirstCloud.co. You heard it here first, folks. Thank you very much, Sean Signori. It was nice to have you out again for your second victory, and we'll be seeing you in Victory Road again, I'm pretty sure, very soon. Take care and have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, thank you guys. You guys did a great job tonight. Have a good one.
All right, we will. You too, my friend. And with that, we are going to be wrapping things up from the ISCA. Folks, thank you very, very much for watching and participating. If you reached out via the chat, it was nice to hear from you. If you haven't, go ahead and reach out next time. Let's interact a little bit, and let's see if we can bridge the gap between commentator and fan. But the ISCA is once again wants to thank Kenny Powell for putting it on. Big Al, what's your takeaway from today's race? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, jazzed up. Great race, guys. Can't wait to do it again next week. It's going to be a different location. Same Big Al. Hey, thanks, Kenny, for the lead. Thanks for Kobe for flipping us the switches and buttons. Thank you, Joe, for letting me talk, and thank me for listening.
It was my pleasure, Big Al. I always have a good time up here. And once again, thank you to Kobe down in the truck as well. Go to iscaracing.com, folks, for more information on where we're going next, what's coming up for you with the ISCA. Follow us out here on all the socials, and we're going to be coming to you live from Kansas Speedway next week. So this has been Joe LaCastro, Jolo, up in the booth. Thanks again. Take care, and good night.
I found the ISCA after I'd been in the service for a long time. I'd been in iRacing for well over a decade and spent most of my time in NASCAR series, a lot of fixed racing for the most part, and really just got to a point in my iRacing career where I really wanted to get involved in open setup racing versus fixed, partially because I was just looking for a little higher level of competition, you know, maybe a little cleaner driving and maybe get away from some of the challenges that go along with fixed racing on the service. And it took me a while as I was really searching out leagues because I kind of had a very specific thing I was looking for. A, I wanted to be an established league. You know, B, I just really wanted clean, quality drivers to be racing around. And once I found the ISCA, I found out really